In March 2018, two members of the U.S. Senate asked then-President Donald Trump to sell Taiwan a batch of the latest American fighter jets so it could protect itself from any potential Chinese aggression. The jet that the senators were referring to was the American stealth fighter F-35, the pride of the U.S. Air Force and the most advanced fighter jet in the world today. Trump did not heed the senators' request and did not sell this jet to Taiwan, and it's not just Trump. Joe Biden is also refusing to sell it to Taiwan up to now. America will probably never sell the F-35 to Taiwan because Americans are afraid that this jet might end up in the hands of the Chinese in some way. However, what is almost certain is that the American F-35 will be the spearhead in any military clash between the American and Chinese armies around Taiwan, according to military experts. The F-35, which has no equivalent among the Chinese, will ensure the Americans have clear air superiority in the potential war between Washington and Beijing. By the way, the most convinced of this information are the Chinese themselves. The Chinese are well aware of their capabilities and, at the same time, understand the strengths and weaknesses of American military technology. For example, China knows how to make a stealth fighter with capabilities that match even half of the F-35's abilities, but it knows how to make Americans incapable of producing new versions of the F-35 by exploiting a very small vulnerability. A single F-35 requires about 417 kilograms of rare earth elements to be manufactured. This quantity is primarily bought by Americans from China, not out of preference or love for the Chinese, but because it is inevitable since China alone controls more than 90% of the world's rare earth element production, which makes rare earth elements a lethal weapon in China's hands, through which they can disrupt not only American defense industries but also technological industries in the United States and anywhere in the world, from missiles and aircraft to iPhones and washing machines. In early July 2023, China finally decided to use its control over metal production to instill fear in the hearts of politicians in Washington, seemingly in response to the restrictions imposed by the United States on China regarding semiconductor manufacturing. Starting from the beginning of August 2023, China will impose restrictions on two of the most important metals used in vital industries like semiconductors, electronics, and automobiles. This measure is just a display of power, the power that China possesses in the field of metals. Now the question is how China managed to become the biggest player in the field of metals in general and rare earth elements in particular, and why the United States, which used to dominate this sector, is now forced to depend on China in a dangerous way.